Take a move in the ring. You can hit me with the words you fling.
Good to see you, my man.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon,
How is
Johnny.
the travel like coming into the Philippines? We know COVID situation there is still a little bit difficult.
It's a little bit difficult, yeah. There's a lot of adjustment, a lot of protocols to follow, but thank God we have been able to arrive here in Singapore safe and sound.
Good to hear, man. We have questions from media from all across the globe here, and they got some questions for you. I'm gonna go into it, okay?
Okay.
First one is from Overtime Heroics Mixed Martial Arts. From being the one lightweight champion, you now have lost 3 out of 4 bouts. What do you think are the factors, and how do you fix that?
I think, in this sport of MMA, just a single mistake can cost your whole training camp. In those 3 losses, they are high level fighters, and it's very difficult to commit a single mistake because it will really cost you. So I think I really need to adjust not only in my striking but especially on my ground game.
You and Antonio Caruso share a similar opponent in Peter Baust. What do you think about Antonio Caruso's game and what he brings to the table for this one?
I think Antonio is an aggressive fighter. He wants to go there and bang. So yeah, we share the same opponent. So there's some things that I can capitalize, about his style. But Antonio is an aggressive fighter. He keeps coming forward.
Saying that Antonio as well says that he discovered a lot of holes in your game from watching previous fights. How do you respond to that?
Of course, we're both in the same mindset. In some ways, he's studying my style, and I'm also studying his style. So it will be an exciting match for us. We'll be able to capitalize more on the mistakes of other. We'll be able to, I'm sure we'll be able to get the W here.
We have a question here from Nick from South China Morning Post. How important is this fight to you to prove that you are still in your prime and that you can still contend for a lightweight world championship?
It's very important because we all need to start again, and this is one of the starting point. This is one of the steps that we need to take so that we can be able to make a statement. So of course, this every fight is very important, but yeah. As I have a goal to be in the contender level again, then I need to win this fight.
Man, you are an absolute pioneer of mixed martial arts in the Philippines, being a role model to the younger guys in Team Lakay, watching them all grow up. Tell us what that's like being the head, being the older big brother, so to say.
Well, of course, as their older brother, kuya in our language, then you really need to be a good model for them. You need to motivate them in their training. As a role model, you need to be there always, in their training, setting a good example for them to follow. And of course, I don't hesitate to correct them if they're doing something wrong. We work as a family, so as a family member, you really need to motivate, and you really need to correct.
We really see that with the whole team from Team Lakay. We got another question here from Jude of Overtime Heroics. You being a hero in the country, the whole Philippines is rooting and cheering for you. Considering this point in your career, does the pressure of carrying the hopes of a whole nation affect you?
Well, the pressure is always there, but this is for the area where I do good. So I need to be strong in these times. I need to represent my country well. So I think I prepare well in my training camp. So yeah, let's go on October 30. It's only the test that we need to pass again.
Next question here. Caruso says that he's confident in his skills and that the skills are more than enough to beat you. What do you say to Caruso in response to this? Do you have something special planned for him?
Uh, I saw his fight. For me, I'd been there. I faced a lot of good strikers and good grapplers. So it's just a matter of stepping into the cage and showing what skill I've got to him.
There's a big lightweight championship fight on the bout as well. Christian, the Warrior Lee, going up against Yuri Lapis. I'm sure you're going to keep your eyes on that one. If you beat Antonio Caruso, what's next for you?
I don't know, man. For now, I'm just focused for him. I think when the result will be over, then that's the next thing that I really need to plan. But for now, I really need to focus on this one. Of course, we are putting our eyes on the bootstrap, but we need to take one step at a time. And Antonio is on my way now. I need to get rid of him.
Question from Fight Game Asia. Without giving away too much of your strategy, how do you see yourself winning this fight?
I don't know. It will be a suspense, But I just want that my hand will be raised after the fight.
I'm sure, man. Nick from South China Morning Post again. Have you had any indication from one whether there's going to be another event in Manila in the near future?
I think Chatri told us that when there will be an event coming up in Manila, it will be a huge event. So, we're really excited there. The fans in the Philippines are looking forward for that big event that will happen in Manila. But for now, we are praying and we are hoping that this pandemic will be over.
We have a question here from Fight Game Asia. You talked a little bit about watching Antonio Caruso's previous bouts. Looking at his previous bouts and studying them, what do you think are his biggest strengths? And what do you think are his biggest weaknesses that you can capitalize on?
I think it will be his aggression. That will be his strength. And I need to capitalize on that, in every strength, you can always see some holes that you can be able to penetrate. So for me, I think his aggression, I will be turning it back to him as his weakness.
Now, your coach, Mark Sangya, one of the best coaches in Asia, no doubt. You've been with him for a long time now. What advice has he given you going into this bout?
Well, Coach Mark has been a big brother to me, and we have been here in the game since day one. He is confident that I can be able to tackle this job. So, of course, I prepared well for this. His advice is always to go there and give my 100% on this fight.
Lightweight division, they just came up with the rankings. You are not in the ranking yet. You think a win over Antonio Caruso puts you into the top 5? Or is that something you even think about?
Well, I hope so, but for now, it doesn't matter. I need to take this first step, and we've been there, and this is one of the necessary things that we need to do before we will be again in that top 5 contender level.
You've been in the game for a long, long time, like you said. Say another loss on your career. How does this affect your career?
For now, I'm not thinking negatively about losing this fight, because it's either I lose, I win, or I learn. So I think I'll be there, and losing is not in my vocabulary right now. So I am focused on getting the win.
Understand? Ivan from Dugout Philippines asks, with Pasay still not clear to host a sporting event until November, are you open to fighting possibly in Baguio or other Filipino cities?
Why not? That will be a good opportunity again. Of course, people in the Philippines are, in those cities are waiting for the one to come in every city. But, we know our situation there. And I hope someday, it will not just be only in Manila, but in some major capitals, in some major cities in the Philippines, one will also be held.
A question here from Fight Game. In your honest account, have you given any thoughts on retirement? If you were to lose this fight, would that cause you to contemplate riding off into the sunset? You've done so much in the sport already. You ever think about that?
Why should you remove a fish on the ocean? It will die. So I think not yet on my vocabulary. For now, what's important thing is that I believe I still have a lot of potential to show, a lot of improvement to do, and retirement is just there. We will be there, but I think for now, not yet.
Question here. Would you say Antonio Caruso is the right challenge for you at this point in your career?
I think, yeah, we lost to the same opponent, and it will be a good match for us.
Now going back into the main event again, you yourself at this point in career, looking at two young guys going up for the title, how do you see yourself matched against them?
I'm not looking at myself as an old person.
Far from old, friend.
I'm still I can still compete with the highest level. So it will be a good thing to watch them fight on Friday. So that of course I cannot only assess myself, but I can also assess how they perform.
Tell us about training in this COVID situation. The Philippines has been hit hard. Has that affected your training preparations, or has that been more of a blessing in a way?
Of course, it's such a blessing because you have more time. I have more time with my family, but in some other consequences, there are a lot of limitations that you usually do that cannot be done anymore. Those parks where you run is already closed, so there's a lot of of protocols to follow. There's a lot of adjustment, but the good thing there is that you've learned how to be creative. Be creative and use the opportunity while in your house to train with your kids. So I think it's a blessing in disguise in the way that I have spent a lot of time with my family. Then the creativeness, the things that you need to do despite of the facilities that had been lacked.
Going back into the lightweight world title fight, who do you think will win that one in that matchup between Christian Lee and Yuri Lapis?
I don't know. I don't know, but what I can assess is that Christian is, I think, eager to put the fight on the ground, knowing that Yuri is a good striker, and Yuri will avoid to be taken down, but Yuri is also good in the ground. On the last fight, he was able to choke Marat. So it will be an exciting fight, It will be an exciting fight. I'm neutral in this one, though you can see that, they have both the capacity to finish each one. A single mistake can cause each one, you know. So it will be an exciting fight between two good strikers and with a good ground capacity.
Ever so polite, man. One more question from Nick of South China Morning Post. What advice do you have for aspiring Filipino fighters who are looking to join the mixed martial arts scene? And would you like a coaching role perhaps someday in the future?
Well, what I can advise them is to look in their heart if they really want this sport. You know, this sport had a lot of sacrifices that you need to take. You really need to spend a lot of time, not only time but money to get good. So of course, if you really want it, then you follow your dream and your will. Probably someday, you know, we are in this martial arts, and of course, if we cannot be able to fight anymore, then one of the things that we can consider is to coach the younger generation to be a good martial artist.
Final question for you. Thank you so much for your time. What kind of a statement are you looking to make in this bout?
The kind of statement is that I'm not done yet. You know, there's still a lot of things to unleash. So watch out on October 30.
We will all be watching. Thank you so much for your time, Edward. Always a pleasure to see you. Please say hi to Team Lakai, Mark Sangyo, all the team.
Thank you,
All the best
Johnny.
Friday night.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you so much for the time also here.